What's going on, guys? It's your boy Chris here. I am back with a new video. I got some shit to get off my chest, and it involves AEW, but it's not what you're thinking. Here's the thing. AEW just did their lowest rating in the history of that company on Dynamite this past week. 502,000 people. Okay? This is just a terrible rating. Now, there have been all kinds of excuses as to why this rating was so low. You had, let me run down the list. It wasn't the NBA this time, or the NHL, because those games weren't on Wednesday. But, let's see. They blamed Juneteenth. They blamed let me think. Juneteenth. They blamed Black Panther. They blamed the Kendrick Lamar concert. Oh, and they blamed like a WNBA game with Caitlin Clark playing. Because that's a new one that came out today. There's a pattern here with these fucking allegations or excuses that isn't being talked about that needs to be fucking called out. And it involves black people. Just a simple explanation. Juneteenth was on a fucking Wednesday night. Who the fuck was going out on a Wednesday night and had to work on Thursday morning? So that's bullshit. Kendrick Lamar? For real? I didn't know we had a concert on Wednesday. And I'm sure a lot of other people didn't either because it was on Amazon fucking Prime. And if you don't have Prime, you didn't know about it. Fuck, I have Prime and I didn't fucking know about it. It wasn't out there like that. And then blaming Black Panther? In other words, TBS is at fault because they put on Black Panther instead of running reruns of Big Bang Theory, which is their usual lead-in. So in other words, you're saying the lack of Big Bang Theory impacted the ratings for the fucking show. Which means you were admitting that Big Bang Theory is a big reason why they're drawing anything at all. Here's why AEW's ratings have gone in the shitter. And it's been since they made the dumbass move of airing the all-out footage, or the brawl-in footage, or the footage with CM Punk and Jack Perry at All In. The day they aired that was the beginning of the end for that company. That's why the ratings have dropped. They've lost 300,000 viewers from the moment that aired. That's why the ratings dropped. You did it to slander a guy who doesn't work anymore for something that isn't going to pay off for anybody that's still there because he's in WWE now. So you can never pay off what you aired. There will be no follow-up to it. It's just you aired it to be petty and people saw through it and said, this is fucking petty bullshit. We don't want any part of it. That's why the ratings have gone to shit. Also, and this is something that people don't want to talk about, good wrestling is great. When the in-ring product is great, it's fantastic. And AEW does put on good matches from time to time. A lot of them aren't my cup of tea, but people seem to like that style of wrestling. That's fine. The problem is they don't have compelling storytelling to get you from point A to point B. That matters. The in-ring product, if it were just the in-ring product, and that's all you needed to have a successful wrestling program, that'd be great, but that's not all you need. WWE, on the other hand, just had their two best shows of the year this past week with the debut of the Wyatt Six and Jacob Fatu showing up at the end of SmackDown, which is already stacked because they built up on the CM Punk storyline with Drew McIntyre. They built up the Bloodline storyline. They built up the Money in the Bank on both shows. NXT has been building up. You had Joe Hendricks show up. And he's saying he'll be back. So the people are interested in that because that guy's over his shit. You see what I'm talking about. With AEW, you've got a random throwaway match between MJF and Roosh. But you have MJF wrestling Hechicero, I think the guy's name is. I don't know who he is, and I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care. You didn't make me care about him. He's just some random Mexican wrestler. He's a luchador guy from CMLL. Okay, that's great. But you could have had him wrestle Roosh at the pay-per-view. You could have built that to a pay-per-view match. But no, you put that on TV. And we're going to have him wrestle like luchador guy. What the fuck? Why are you having him wrestle a guy who's not going to be around after this? What's the fucking point? We're going to have all these guys from New Japan and CMLL come in and wrestle our guys. Okay, what happens after that? A whole bunch of fucking nothing. That's what happens, and that's part of AEW's problem. We're going to have Will Ospreay wrestle against Swerve. Shouldn't you be holding off for that until Forbidden Door? Not Forbidden Door, but shouldn't you be doing that at All In Wembley instead of Forbidden Door? But this is what you're fucking doing. You're throwing a bunch of shit at the wall, making a big deal out of it, and it's no one fucking cares. You didn't get anybody to care. That's why no one's watching the fucking show. It's not because of fucking Juneteenth or the NBA or Kendrick Lamar or whatever, or Black Panther or whatever else fucking bullshit you want to put in there. By the way, for y'all throwing those excuses out, we fucking see you, okay? We see the fucking pattern, and we know who you're trying to blame for that shit, and it's not fucking cool. It's weak shit, and we know it. You know it's weak shit, and I'm calling you out on it. It's some fucking bullshit. The show, it's not about any of that. It's because the show's not good. Period. Dynamite is not must-see television. It hasn't been in over a year now. The numbers have dropped over the past 5 years. It's not because of one factor. The honeymoon period ended. People see what it is. They gave it a chance. They didn't like it, and that's why they're fucking walking away. Add that to all the bullshit that happened with CM Punk, and they're like, yo, this ain't it. I'm out. And that's why people walked away from it. It's not because of... And like I said, it's especially egregious to be blaming Juneteenth. Juneteenth? Y'all really want to blame Juneteenth? Or a fucking 5-6-year-old movie? Lead-in? You realize how stupid you sound using those as fucking excuses? Juneteenth? You know how many places don't celebrate Juneteenth? My job was open on Juneteenth, okay? I had to work. Most places were open on Juneteenth. People had to work. Unless you get like the federal holiday, which then everybody was off. But then again, like I said, you had to work the next day, and it's a Wednesday. Who the fuck was going out on Juneteenth on the middle of the fucking week? Now, if it were on Friday or on a Saturday, people probably would have been out partying and getting it in. But on a Wednesday night, nah, that ain't happening, bro. That ain't happening, and you know it ain't happening. It's the fact that your show's not good anymore. That's why people stopped watching. The ratings have been on a decline the past 5 years, and everyone else has seen it. Except your boys over at The Observer and your boys over at Fightful, who are still sucking AEW's dick. They're the ones who are like usually making these fucking excuses. Gee, I wonder why. It's weak shit. It's weak sauce. It doesn't hold up when you look at the actual breakdowns of everything. And it's just their way to try to keep people on that bullshit. It's not true. The show's not built for long-term success. It never has been. We put on great matches, okay. But how do you get people invested to stick around? We don't. We only cater to the hardcore fans. Well, then all the casual fans said, fuck this, I'm going to stick it with WWE because they actually tell stories. Sorry, not sorry. And that's what the fuck happened. And everybody that tried to tell Tony this shit got laughed at, got cussed out, got called fed E-drones and all this other shit. People like Eric Bischoff tried to tell him this. People like Conan and Disco tried to tell him this. People like Jim Cornette have said this time and time again. People like myself say it all the fucking time. People like Wrestling Soup. People like John Draper. People like Evil Dose. People like Phil Marks. Everybody with any fucking sense has tried to say this. And what do we get for it? We get called that we're just haters and this, that, whatever. Okay, then call me a hater all you fucking want. While your Titanic fucking sinks. You play the violins, the ship's going down. I'ma sit on a fucking on a rock laughing at your ass while you drown. Because that's where I'm at this point. And all those fucking excuses y'all put out there, like I said, we fucking see you. Okay? I fucking see you. I saw the pattern. I'm like, hold up. Everybody's looking at this, and it seems like there's a lot of... And I'm going to say this, and people are getting mad about it, but I don't give a shit now, because y'all try to throw it on us. And a lot of us in AEW crowds. Okay? They're not. There ain't a lot of chips in the AEW crowd cookie, if you know what I mean. There ain't a lot there. Okay? There aren't. So, yeah, I went there. Since y'all went there first, I want to blame us for the lack of viewership. Maybe to look at who you're catering to, and maybe change it up a little bit. Maybe do a little NXT. Where you got a black world champion, a black North American champion, a black women's North American champion. I'm just saying, it seems to be working for NXT. Oh wait, you've got Swerve. That you've made a fucking afterthought, and everybody sees that shit. All you talk about is Will Ospreay this, Will Ospreay that. Will Ospreay is a great wrestler, okay? So Swerve. The difference is Swerve has a character that you should be building around, but you're not building him up. And we all saw through it. We were happy as shit for the man when he won the title. And then we realized where it's gonna go. And we said, we already see where this train's headed to, and I'm gonna hop off before it gets there because I want no part of that. Because they're just jobbing this dude out. And now, they're doing it sooner, at Forbidden Door, he's not going to even get the fucking All In. So they're not even getting him to the biggest stage you could be on as champion. You see what I mean? That shit's a slap in the face. Meanwhile, up until Trick Williams, you had built up a feud where two black wrestlers main evented. And Carmelo Hayes, who went up to the main roster and's making noise for himself, putting over Trick Williams. Trick Williams beating the unbeatable Ilya Dragunov. And now he's up and running. That's how they should be booking Swerve. But they're not. And again, we know why. Like I said, the pattern of excuses this time especially pissed me off. And I think y'all know why it pissed me off so bad. Because hold up. They're blaming us. Oh, hell no. I'm not having that. So that's where the anger in this video is coming from. Anyway, that's all I've got for this one. If you're on that excuse train, by the way, over at The Observer and over at Fightful, fuck you. And that's straight up. And you can comment me however you want to about what I just said about Fightful or Observer. If you want to jump at me, by all means, please do. I would love to tear your ass up for trying to defend those fucking excuses. I would love that shit. Because I guarantee you, I will Ginsu your ass if you do. Verbally, not actually with a Ginsu. I'm not violent like that. I just want to make that clear. There will be no actual Ginsuing. It will all be through words, through the keyboard. Unless you knock on my door. At that point, all bets are off. I'm just saying. I'm about that. If you want to take it there, we can take it there, but you really don't want to do that with me. I'm not the one. Some people who have tried to come at me have found that out. That I respond through either sarcasm, or if you really want to get that way, I'll just block you. But nah, like I said, if you're about that excuse shit, fuck you. In closing. Actually, in closing, the excuses are lame. Y'all are weak as shit for using them. Just admit the show's not good. And move on. That's why the rating dropped to where it did. Oh, and this is in the middle of contract negotiations. I'm totally sure WB Discovery was totally happy with them getting 500,000 fans on a holiday. I'm sure they're thrilled with that, by the way. That's not helping their negotiation strategy at all. They're fucked. And if you don't believe it at this point, I don't know what to fucking tell you. The deal that everyone was talking about, them getting that $1 billion deal, is not happening. And if you still think that's coming, I have land in on an island in Botswana I can sell you. Just hit my Cash App. Or just send it to me through Zelle. That'd be much better. Yeah. Zelle me a couple of $1,000s and I'll hook you up. Anyway. Don't really try to Zelle me. I don't really do that. I don't have land in Botswana. Or anything like that. You will lose your money if you do that. I'm just letting you know now. If you Zelle me money, that's your own fucking dumbass fault. It will go to a good cause, mind you. My pocket. But I'm just letting y'all know I don't really have land in Botswana to sell you. Okay? So don't go for that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. I don't want to go to jail or some shit. But, if you want to kick me a couple $100, I will gladly take it. Just because you like the entertainment. If you like the entertainment of Breaker Bros, then great. But no, I'm just kidding. Anyway. That's all I've got for this video. I'm going to get off here before I get myself in trouble or the cops are going to knock on my door. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.